Today we're talking about how your brand can avoid the commodity content trap. Let's hop in. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jordan Shelton. Today, we're getting into it. Something I am very passionate about, something that I'm seeing in the industry. I've been in the industry 12 years, and I'm seeing a lot of brands really fall into this trap and this commodity content trap. So let's start with defining commodity content. Okay, so what is commodity content? Commodity content is content that is widely shared, easily made, and repeatable by other brands. So this is things like trends, meme content, or it could also be sharing industry news without adding on your own opinion. This is the type of content that you see all throughout the internet, and it's got a couple issues with it. The first thing is it seems to work. It gets engagement, it gets impressions. So that rewards us as the creator. We say, look, this is working. We should create more of that. The problem is when you create, let's say you hop on a trend or you're just sharing industry news, what happens is the user is now actually prompted to remember that industry news or the trend itself, not your brand. So you become what's called the forgettable messenger. You are the person sharing the news, but they never remember who shared it. Okay, so what do we do? How do we change this? Let's tackle the news bit first. If your account is curating content from around your industry and sharing it, the one thing you want to do is bolt on your original opinion or insight to that news. People are coming to follow you because they want to hear your voice, your brand's position on that content. So if something happens, hey, TikTok is getting banned in the US. Okay, what's your opinion about that? Just don't share that news. Talk about how that impacts other social media platforms. If you're, me, talk about how that's going to affect advertisers, creators, etc. You need to put your opinion on top of the news. Think about this as you are creating op-eds, not editorials. You are not just here to be a news feed. We want your opinion. Okay, next, let's talk about trends. Now, trends in a vacuum aren't bad, right? They can be a lot of fun. You can get a lot of engagement, but the problem is they can be a pretty heavy strain on your resources and distract you from some of the original content you should be creating. Look, if you can hop on a trend, you can do it in a trend window. So that means you got on the internet in 2024, that means you got 2 days to get that content out and it doesn't create a massive creative burden for your company, then go ahead. It might be worth it. You might have a post go viral. You might get some followers from it, but it should not distract from the content that you are really going out there and trying to build your original content. Think about it like this. Your original content, those are built around the content pillars, the foundation of your brand. Memes, trends, they're the posters you put up on the wall. They're easy to rip down. They're easy to put up. We're building that foundation of your social media plan. It takes a little more work, a little more thought. So trends in a vacuum, not bad, but ultimately when we think about how they can affect your overall social media plan, they can really hurt some of the other efforts that you want to do. Okay, so how do you make sure your brand doesn't fall into the content commodity trap? Right? I've just told you my issues with it. Now you're like, great, Jordan, give me the way out. Give me the reasons. Show me how to do it. Let's talk about it. So we mentioned a little bit with the news. You always want to add your perspective, your opinion, bolt that onto the news if you're going to share any news, any community updates, etc. 2, think about content that creates interaction. So interactive content has a 52% increase in recall. This can be something like a poll at the end of, you do a series of Instagram stories and then you do a poll. Which one do you like more, A or B? Would you do that? Stopping the users and making them have some skin in the game can go a long way. When you get them to interact, they're going to remember the content 52% more. That's a big number. So think about adding some interactive elements to your overall content plan so you are remembered. And this one too, why I like that one, not a lot of brands do it. A lot of brands take social as a megaphone. Very few think about how can we engage the audience and get them to become part of the outcome, part of the social media experience, and part of the individual posts. Okay, next, what you want to do is embrace storytelling, but not just any story. You want to think about your customer's story. They are the hero. They're the hero. Right now, if you're watching this, you're the hero. I'm just the guide. I'm the person who's trying to help you. So I'm trying to help you as you go through and create your social media plan, as you build out your company's social media. I want to give you some tips really to help you thrive. That's my position in this story. Now, you want to do the same thing with your brand. How can you tell stories, but put the customer at the center of them? So we want to build narrative, and we do that a couple ways. You can build tension. You can have an obvious problem and solution. How do you build that tension? Okay. And then you resolve it. I recommend looking up basic storytelling framework. You can do on YouTube, do that. And honestly, that'll be a game changer in your content. All right, next. I want us to ditch influencers and embrace ambassadors. This means we actually partner with creators who are, one, believable, like they would actually use our product. Two, are willing to go on our feed as the brand. So I love going out when we get a brand and we start to work with them and say, hey, let's find 5 or 6 people who really embody the brand. Let's hire them to create content within our brand guidelines. You bring them on as creative partners for series of videos. Let's use their brains. They're great creators, but we still want it to be on brand. We still want it to feel like the company. And that's a huge challenge because a lot of times companies say, just let the influencer go, let them create, let them do their thing. I don't suggest that, because what's going to happen is you might get a great piece of content that really benefits that influencer or matches their style, but putting up just a little bit of guardrails, some guidance can go a long way. And I found that the creators are very, very receptive to that, and they will definitely help make you something that's a little bit more on brand. Look, all in all, to avoid the content commodity trap, what you need to do is prioritize creating original content. That doesn't mean everything needs to be a movie by Steven Spielberg, but it has to be things that you create. Create content, believe in your team to create content, and think about it in terms of it's you talking to one person. How can you create content to help solve their problem, their issue, help them get through something? That's going to be huge. And don't get too caught up in the metrics of viral trends and memes, because ultimately they may not help your brand achieve what it wants to at the end of the day. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, y'all. I'm Jordan Shelton. Make sure to hit the like, comment, all of that, and check out more of the videos if you want more social media tips. All right, cheers.